What's up, everybody? This is Lenae Stacks, her quiet power. So, in the midst of me moving around and doing my thing, I'm going to start the video off fairly quick that I want to cover because it's a lot. I'm gonna try to keep my commentary down to a minimum because I'm glad I watched some of it beforehand so I can get that out because I'll get wrapped up in it. Y'all don't want to watch no movie with me because I'm gonna be talking to the screen, but and I did a couple of things before I started getting up. I got up. I'm sorry, and did a couple of things before I sat down and started this again, just to kind of get my nerves down. This is something that was hard to watch, um, just because of what it is. But I'm going to go over it with you guys. I'm extremely opinionated on it. I'm going to try and let you guys get the gist of it. If you've seen it before, great. But you can go watch it again with me so that you can hear my commentary maybe. Tomorrow we are, before I start this, tomorrow we are going to go live. I don't know what the time yet or the specifics, but I put it on a community post. And then I have a couple other announcements and another video to show you after this. But let's get to it. Okay. This is King Samir, Umar Johnson, and the Irritated Genie. This conversation is, whoo, let me tell you. I don't agree. I don't agree with a lot of things that Umar says, but I agree with a lot of stuff that he says. This one, I damn sure do not agree. I'm very much on Irritated Genie's side. I will let you guys listen to it. I'm just letting you know my position. So you don't think it's, oh, she just because she's mad at, no, it ain't nothing like that. But let's get to it because this is a mess.
I'll let Dr. Umar answer that. Are you still with us, brother Umar?
Sure. So it is a vicious, perpetuating cycle. We tend to find it intergenerationally. And one thing I do not support, as I've heard several of the callers did say, was that they favored extermination. That 23-year-old girl is a victim. And she's a victim for a lot of reasons and through a lot of different channels. And for the black community, any of us, to advocate that she be murdered as a result of being victimized, I think is sick. And for us to say that the best way we can deal with child sex offenders, pedophiliacs, is to kill them is also absurd. If we really wanted to stop sex offending.
Can I just say this real quick? This is the same man y'all always parroted out here and make fun where he said, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them. Some of them are going to have to go to sleep for good. You remember that? Okay. Let's go through. He has sympathy for the devils. Let's go through.
In the black community, do you cut it off at its source? You treat the cause. You don't treat the symptom. The cause was the abuse. The cause was the psychological alienation. Help those children. Help those families. Prevent these types of acts from being perpetrated against our youth in the first place. But to say that I know I'm guilty of not building the institutions that my community needs to prevent this type of filth from developing, and knowing that I did not do what I was supposed to do to prevent this from happening, but now I'm going to favor exterminating the victim, is no different than the white man who says, I'm not going to give you a job, but if I catch you selling drugs, I'm going to throw you in jail. If we're saying we're not going to do anything to prevent child sex offenses, but we're going to exterminate the offender, then we no different from the white man who says, I'm not going to give you a job.
This is the same person that once you expose him, you ready for death. But he wants to keep sex offenders alive. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it, but I just wanted to give you some context in what we're talking about here. He has sympathy for them. He has no sympathy for anybody else. Remember the SETI. Remember the him and Tariq going at it. Remember the things that when he was talking about Tariq and Boyce Watkins. Remember these things. But he has sympathy for. I'm not saying that he wanted, to unalive them. I'm just saying that he finds sympathy for people that are sexual predators. Let's keep going.
But I'll throw you in jail if I catch you selling drugs. We have to stop being reactionary and start being proactionary.
But I feel compelled to say something here because
Yes, sir.
I gotta say one thing and then I'm gonna turn it right back over to you, Brother Samir. Because I'm one of the primary proponents and have been one of the initial people that I have heard or that I'm aware of who's gone on a mission to exterminate pedophiles in the Black community, I have to stand up for that position. I 100% respect Brother Umar. He's a healer. That's what he does. He heals our community. And I think that if he is a healer and he can heal our people, the only position he can have is that our people can be healed. Otherwise, he couldn't do his job. So I respect his position. However, I'm not a healer in the same way this brother is. I'm a cleanser. I'm looking at the victims of sexual abuse as the victims. And if somebody puts their hands on a Black child, I want them dead. I don't want to talk about why they done it. I want to stop it at the source, and I want to stop the cycle. I do want to send as many of our people to Brother Umar and other brothers and sisters out there like him. We need to give support to them because they can help our people. But once you decide you want to victimize our babies, I want you to die that moment or the moment before you actually get your hands on them. I want you dead. So I just felt compelled because I can't sit here and act like I don't know that I'm one that's putting that message out there. We have a different message in that regard. And I respect the brother, but my message is going to always be the same. If somebody is guilty of sexually abusing Black children, they should die.
That's right. That's right.
And we will respectfully disagree on that point. My focus would be on eliminating the causes that bring that about. You can remove every European off the face of the earth right now, and you're still going to have pedophilia in the Black community. And my argument is going to remain the same, and that is killing pedophiles does not eliminate the sickness. You have to cut it off at its core. To kill people when we're not actually preventing that sickness from being developed in the children, there's no cure whatsoever. You'll be killing people from today until the end of civilization until we recognize that we have to cut it off at its source, uproot the illness, and that way you prevent the pedophile from being developed. But to exterminate someone who's already been victimized without first seeking to rehabilitate that doesn't make us any better than the Europeans. And that's my position.
They're victims in his eyes. Then he moves on and he calls them babies. We wanted to kill the babies. Keep listening. This shit is crazy. Let's keep going.
All right.
There's something to be said there as well, Brother King Samir, not to complicate the conversation, because I'm definitely not a supporter of that type of behavior. But at the same time, I recognize that the Black community is also an accomplice to the crime by doing nothing to prevent it. And when we say that she has control over what she does and she does not. You have to recognize that pedophiliac behavior is based on her trying to meet an unmet psychological need. It's very sick, but the reason children or adults have sex with children is because they are seeking the intimacy that they never got from their own biological parents.
Oh no. I think it's about control. I think it's about deviance and control. And he's not a damn psychologist. So I think it's very much about control. Let's keep going.
That's why they choose young children, because they're looking for someone whom they can depend on, who really does not have the opportunity to negate them when they attempt to engage for that emotional bond. That's why you see the neglect, the emotional neglect within the childhood profile of nearly all sex offenders. That sex is an attempt to reclaim that intimacy that they were deprived of by their parents. So they don't even understand a lot of times why they do what they do. The fact she
Let me
likes
ask you a question.
doesn't,
Let me ask
hold
you a
on,
question, brother.
let me finish
Go
my
ahead.
statement. The fact
Go
she
ahead.
likes it, okay, doesn't tell you any more about the situation than if she didn't like it, no more than a drug addict or a murderer, okay, likes doing what they doing. Of course they like it. But what are the unconscious reasons for the motivations of the behavior? And that is she's lonely, she's isolated, probably depressed, and she's looking for someone to love her. And because her childhood experience taught her that she can't get it from her parents, she's going to get it from someone whom she can completely control, which is a young child. It's sick and it can't be tolerated. But we have to
This is all from. This is some BS. I'm sorry, but we're gonna keep going. I had to take a moment. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. This is some textbook bullshit. Now, he don't believe in ADD, ADHD. That's because there's no dad in the home. Even when kids have it and they have a dad in the home. But then his stance on this is that, let's keep going. Most of the time I agree. Like, I didn't cover the Ryan Clark thing. I thought that was dope. The Wells thought that was dope. But when he's wrong, he's hella wrong. And he's hella wrong on this. It's just, his brain can't understand bringing this full circle. And I'm a very logical person, but Irritated Jeannie's stance on this just makes better sense. But let's keep going.
recognize where it started. Her own neglect by her own parents who probably suffer from the same cycle. I'm saying treat the cause. Extermination as a solution is not a solution.
Right. And she did say, see, we got to remember, family, she did say when I asked her, what is it about children? Okay? She did say because they don't fight back, they don't talk back. You understand? See, we have to be very mindful.
Her need. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's a sexual addict. So, I mean, even to the point of molesting her own 8-week-old daughter.
Oh, no.
Okay? We're dealing with a sex addict. How do we deal with that degree first? Because remember, family, the white man taught us how to have sex. He taught us how to love. He taught us how to hate each other. He taught us everything the way we know about everything today. Seriously. And we have to remember that. This crap has taught us the basics of even having sex. I mean, yes, sir.
Here's my thing. First of all, I don't agree with the fact that it doesn't solve the problem, because if you look at the problem, if you look at it from a narrow view, like the only thing you're going to do is kill somebody and you're not going to solve the problem, you're only looking at from one half of the issue, because there's another issue that we're not considering. Pedophiles can range between 60 to 360 children that they will rape and molest before they pass. So when you kill a pedophile, it's not just that you're killing that person. You're preventing between 60 and 360 people who don't have to go through this from going through it.
Right.
So when you consider that part of it, what I would say is, if you care about the future of your race, you have to consider the full picture. Your objective is to do two things. One, to definitively ensure. And then definitively ensuring does not mean giving to some European to see if they can psychoanalyze them and then put them back in our community so that they can do the same thing again. To definitively ensure that this individual who is guilty, we're not talking about somebody suspected, guilty of raping a black child, never can do it again. That's one. So no other black child will ever be a victim by that person. And secondly, you sending a message to everybody out there that, you know what? We are sick as a people. And we all got issues. Hey, I've done a lot of damage to our own community myself. I can't lie. I've done it. I've hurt people. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I got a, 6-week-old baby girl? There ain't no, like, psychoanalysis you're going to give me. Somebody put their hands on my daughter. I'm going at her. I'm going at her with everything. And if there's anybody around who knew about it, I'm not playing no games. That's my daughter, man. I'm not leaving the well-being of my child up to some semantics in some doctor's office. Look, we got to have some rules in the Black community, something that people know is sacred. If our children and babies ain't sacred, then we're going to get treated just like we're getting treated by the European, because it's laughable. People don't, you got to, if you can't say that if somebody rapes my child, I'm going to kill him. If that can't be the penalty for that crime, then there's no reason for us to continue to fight as a race, because that means our children ain't even sacred enough for us to strike. We got to have something to strike on. And our people always find a clever explanation not to want to strike and shed blood. And I'm going to say, if the rape of a Black child is not the line that we say, hell, you cross that, you got to die, then we don't have a line. And maybe we should be exterminated.
Facts.
First, let me say that the fact that there's causes to sexual abuse and pedophilia, okay, to admit that there's causes is not making a scapegoat or an excuse for the sickness. But it is idiotic to believe that by taking a life, you're preventing the sickness, because pedophilia is not a bunch of individuals.
Why is he saying it's idiotic? See, some people don't know how to debate. They don't know how to have a conversation without saying things. And this is where things start to go left because of certain statements. Leave that shit off of the table.
It is a normal outgrowth of children who are subjected to an unhealthy and abnormal system that is not of their making and not under the control of their community. You can kill that one pedophiliac, but there's hundreds of others being developed. Furthermore, if you're going to kill the pedophiliac, you're going to have to kill them as children, because most of them started out as child sex offenders, molesting their own blood relatives when they were 7, 8, 9, or 10 years old, before they were really able to recognize that what they were doing could qualify as rape or pedophilia. And the fact that their sickness, when it was treatable, went untreated by their own community, and now they're engaging in that behavior, which has now become pathological as an adult. And now we want to step in and say we're going to kill them because we didn't get to them when we could have done something about it, and to ignore the fact that the person you're killing is being killed because they weren't properly raised, nurtured, and looked out appropriately for by the community, makes you a reactionary. And you cannot build any community now or in the future with reactionary behavior. You're not fighting a bunch of individuals. Pedophilia is a force. You're going to see hundreds. You're going to get thousands. You're going to get tens of thousands until we decide to build our own socialization and education mechanisms for our children. But killing someone who molested a child is not going to stop those children from being molested, because there's other ones. And just like with all sex offenses and offenders, it's difficult, very difficult to identify beforehand exactly who is going to do the offending, okay, because not all trajectories are going to be the same. You don't, not only do you not know who exactly is going to do the offending, you don't even know who they're going to select for the offense itself. And so basically, after you kill them, they have already committed the crime. So you say you killing them to prevent that 360 from going through the same nonsense? Well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they don't.
You missed the whole part of this.
Already got to the 360 before you got to them, because they started out as child sex offenders from the 3rd and 4th grade. You ain't solving no problem like that.
I gotta say, I respectfully disagree with that. The reality of it is, first of all, there has been nothing that has definitively proven that a sex offender can be rehabilitated. There is nothing.
True. That is not true.
Wait a minute. I'm proving on a higher level. The European is the one whose culture, since time immemorial, has been a pedophilic culture. Nothing that has occurred in the history of this world has stopped them from being pedophiles. They raped our children in slavery. They passed it on to us. They made us rape our own children. They're raping our children in reformatories now. They've created a system where our children get raped. They go around the world and put their military on people. And they rape people in Africa. They're training African troops to rape little boys and little girls in the Abu Ghraib prison. We saw the pictures where they're raping men. The pedophilic instinct in the European, which is not some force that comes from nowhere, it comes from European culture, is the source of European culture. There is nothing that has shown that can be curbed. The instinct for Europeans to ravage the anuses and the souls of young boys is so deep that it permeates even through their religion, through Catholicism, where they always raping little boys. This is part of what they are. And now that they have access to our people, homosexuals are adopting our children. It would be ridiculous for us to think they're not being raped. If you look in Haiti, what's going on in Haiti now is an abomination. They're systematically raping young boys in Haiti. So we not only facing internal situation of sexual abuse in our communities that has been a cycle that can be stopped when we take it very seriously enough that a person knows that if they get caught doing it, they are surely going to die. One thing I have learned with anything for Black people, there's one serious thing that is a learning tool for Black people, and it's called pain. I've had many situations where I've dealt with brothers. You try to talk to them, you try to do all these different things. One thing Black people understand is pain. And that's why we don't get up to fight this European. It's not because we don't realize that they're killing our people, that they're murdering our babies, that they're assassinating our communities, that they're keeping us off these jobs and mistreating us. You know why we don't fight them? Because we know that they will blow our goddamn brains out. They will burn our homes down and they will kill us. We are afraid because we know that if we strike, when they strike, they're going to strike serious, hard, and long. And you know what we do because of that? It chills us out. We want to get up and stand up, and only the bravest of the brave will go out there and do anything. It works. So I'm saying that same philosophy should work in the Black community. Look.
It's a whole bunch of people who get on here and talk that good talk, but they won't strap up. They won't get out there in the streets. They won't do anything. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. It don't matter really what it is. They're not going to do anything. They want to talk. They want to talk.
A lot of mistakes that can be made. But one mistake that if you make this mistake, you're going to be killed. If you put your hands on our children. In addition to that, see, this is the part that's not being talked about. Here at War on the Horizon, we have DVDs, Predators in Our Midst. We put out the information into the community so people can see it and try to prevent the continuance of the cycle, to understand where it came from, to understand how it permeates. So you are doing something to prevent it, but the reality of it is education and psychoanalysis is fine. Pedophiles are not going to stop raping children because somebody psychoanalyzed them. They're going to stop when, like they do today, when the penalty is stiff enough that they can't do it. And right now, the only thing that stops
have never stopped crime.
Bullets in the back of their head or a permanent jail sentence.
Punishment has never stopped crime. Punishment has never stopped crime. It hasn't stopped it in America. It don't stop it in Africa. It don't stop it in the Middle East. Is
it going to deplete it completely? No, it's not. But it makes a difference. It's a deterrent. It's a deterrent versus having nothing.
Saying that taking life for pedophiles to know that you're murdering other pedophiles is going to stop their behavior, that is absolutely ridiculous. No more than knowing you're going to go to jail for raping somebody stops rape from occurring. And the reason why it doesn't stop these types of behaviors from occurring is because they have unconscious psychological motivators.
No, the reason why it doesn't stop it from occurring because they feel that they can get away with it. And then if they do get away with it, then jail. Jail is a lot different from death. That gives you an option, even to go through trial, gives you an option to get out of it. Pure definite death is going to deter a lot of things. I bet you if they start putting criminals completely to death, and I'm not saying they should do this, but put them to death, hell yeah, crime is it's gonna drop. No trial, no nothing. There's a lot of other bad things that are gonna happen too, but it will stop everything. That's just facts.
That are related to a delinquent and deficient childhood and lack of emotional nurturing early on in their years. You are not going to stop psychological illness by punishing it. It's ridiculous. It is never going to occur. Get to the children.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. This is coming from a man who believes that early intervention with testing should be avoided. What it really is that women are too soft on their boys and they need to put BTA and that'll correct the behavior. And now he's saying that punishment isn't going to correct. Well, we know that. We know that. Only an idiot would try to beat the mental health out of a child. Let me let that sit with y'all for only an idiot would try to beat the mental health out of a child or beat a child and get rid of things that are associated with other mental health stuff. Only an idiot thinks like that. Let's keep going.
Raise them correctly. Provide them with what they need, and you will see that the amount of this sickness will start to reduce itself when the children are properly being taken care of. But again, we want to get them at the end of the cycle and say, you've been messed up by this white society, and you've been messed up because we ain't built a damn institution for none of you, nor have we provided any type of program to help your children. We know that. But because you got messed up and polluted by the system, now we got to kill you, even though we're just as responsible as you are for what you did, because we knew if we didn't step in, chances of you becoming the way you are were going to significantly increase, but we still stood by the lines and done nothing. And because you have become another casualty in this psychosexual war, we're just going to kill you because we don't feel like doing what we need to do to prevent you from getting sick in the first place. It's reactionary. I'll never support that nonsense.
It's not nonsense, and I'm be honest, brother. I love you, but you don't understand warfare. Let's go back.
Well, I understand warfare. I just don't agree with you. And because I don't agree with you don't mean I don't understand warfare. I want to make that clear.
I'm going to say that. I let you speak. I'm saying you don't understand.
He can't even figure out that this is not about after the fact. This is about continuing on the behavior.
Warfare. I'm not
saying you don't know what I understand. And the fact that I don't agree with you does not mean I don't understand warfare. You're drawing the conclusion that because I don't agree with you, I don't understand warfare.
Bruh, you say I'm saying
I'm a deep study of political science.
Hold up, I let you speak.
I just don't.
You understand that, but you made a conclusion I needed to speak on. So if you're going to make an assumption about me that you don't know, I'm going to interrupt you and speak on that.
I'm making a direct statement. Like you said, what I'm saying is ridiculous. I'm not telling you can't say that. It's your airways.
No. But saying that what you said is ridiculous is coming from someone who's an expert in that area.
If you,
okay? But I didn't say anything about what you knew or what you did not know.
It don't
you
matter.
Told me I don't understand warfare. We never had a conversation on warfare. So you can't make that determination, brother. That's what I'm telling you.
Now you giving it, then you got to take it. Now let's go.
No, I'm gonna give it and take it, brother. I give it and take it all day. I give it and take it. Let's be clear on that.
This is warfare. Mao Zedong said, "I know that the Europeans put you on heroin. I know it's not your fault. You got 3 months to get off heroin because we cannot have a country of heroin addicts. And guess what? China is arguably today the superpower on planet Earth. You know why?
I am well aware with the accomplishments of Brother Mao.
Wait a minute, hold up. After that 3
Go ahead,
months,
go ahead.
you know what he did? He took the
I know exactly what he did.
He lined them up and he blew their goddamn brains out. And he said, listen, I hated to do it, but it had to happen. And guess what? After that, they moved forward, and China is the world power in the world today. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I got to say about that. First of all, what you just spoke on, okay, I speak on regularly, and who he exterminated was the traders, not necessarily those who suffer from chemical dependence. But the difference between you and Chairman Mao was that he had absolute control over the country, and you do not. So if you're going to give me that rationale and say, Brother Umar, we have control over our society, which we do not, and say that we're going to get rid of all sickness right now and start over, building from the ground up, if you had control, then maybe I can listen to that. But you don't have control over your society like Chairman Mao does. The white man has control over your society. And until you get it, there's no way in hell I'm going to endorse any ridiculous strategy that says kill victims when we're responsible for the illness that they're suffering from because we ain't building the institutions that they need. So when you are in the position that he was in, we can reason on your strategy, brother. But until you are, we can't. It's not useful.
I'm saying it's a ridiculous statement because the reality is the only way to get control of your community is to say we're going to protect our babies. And you can't protect your baby trying to teach a pedophile. A pedophile is not a victim. A pedophile is a perpetrator. And there's only one way to...
Thank you. He done went and talking about killing our babies. Nobody's talking about killing babies, you dork. They're not talking about that. Let's keep going because... I'm gonna get agitated. I'm trying to okay.
Deal with a perpetrator and that to be serious and not use semantics. Semantics doesn't stop.
I'm not using semantics. Punishment does not cure crime. It ain't slowed not one type of crime down ever. That's a damn semantic, and that's a myth. There's no proof in that. Show me any proof that punishing crime reduces it, Genie. It does not. No criminology textbook, no sociology textbook, no nothing. Not even African sociologists and criminologists on the continent. They will show you that it does nothing to do away with crime because most crime is motivated by unmet needs, economic or psychological. So now, separate the pedophiles, Genie. Separate the pedophiles. Now we left with all the quote-unquote normal children. What are we doing for them to make sure they don't become pedophiles? Because I see you at the end of the cycle killing people who get messed up. What are you doing for the ones who ain't sick right now? Don't you telling me you're going to kill people when you're doing nothing for the healthy babies?
No, that you are doing something. You're protecting them from getting raped. What are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about? They can still develop that tendency to want to have sex with other children based on unmet needs. You ain't protecting them because you killed a pedophile or two.
But they won't act on it, you dipshit. They won't act on it. We know that there's a possibility that they could develop these tendencies. Just like you could develop a tendency to be an alcoholic or a drug addict, but you can still refrain. It's to deter the behavior versus conscious community. Allow this shit into and uphold it and not hold it accountable. That's why people keep going over there to that community because they move in the shadows. They don't have any kind of way of correcting shit. They refuse to correct it. It's almost you can do anything you want as long as you're black. We'll be good. Let's keep going.
It's a force, Genie. Thousands. Killing a few ain't going to do nothing about it.
Listen,
I just told you that one of the triggers for the behavior is unmet needs in childhood.
If one person,
so if you ain't supporting those parents and supporting those families,
if one
your knowledge of that whole psychological process that brings forth the pedophile is incomplete.
Rape 300 people. If one person can rape 300 people, you're saying if you catch them when they rape 50, don't stop them then. Let them rape another 200.
No. What I'm telling you is your whole approach to dealing with the problem is incomplete. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that nowhere in your strategy, which is totally reactionary, do you deal with preventing the pedophiliac urge from coming into place in the first place. from the beginning in the first place. And if you want to sit here and tell me it's all because some white man is showing the children how to be gay, now on the sociological level, yes, but that 16-year-old girl we talked about, hell, she probably never even been alone with a white man in her life. That ain't why the hell she's doing it. She's doing it because she was traumatized.
And
she's doing it because she was traumatized by her own family.
And where
what are we going to do to prevent the trauma that brings about pedophilia?
Where did it come from? Are you telling me that whites did not put pedophilia in the black community?
I'm telling you that homosexual behavior has its origin in European cultural behavior. But I'm also telling you that from a psychological standpoint, children who molest will molest even if they never came under the influence of any type of European example of the behavior. I know because I work with them. Many of them never been exposed to that direct
European example of the behavior. What are you talking about? That is the European example of the behavior.
Say that again.
We are in America. We are in America. We've been on slave farms, and we've had cycles of sexual abusers in our families, raping our children.
And I'm telling you that not all sexual abuse is a direct result of learning it from white people. You damn right I'm telling you that. You damn right I'm telling you that some of that blame is on the black community itself. The reason why you don't get homosexuality in Africa prior to the invention or the coming to the continent of the European is because children were reared by a community. So the chance of them not having their emotional needs met were slim and probably totally didn't exist at all.
No, the reason you didn't have homosexual,
the manner in which our children are being raised is unhealthy. And when you have unhealthy processes in place, Jeannie,
the reason you didn't have homosexuality,
you're going to get pathological behavior. With or without the white man, you're going to get pathological behavior. With or without the white man, you're going to get.
Let me wedge in between just 1 second.
Brother, now I got to do this right now. I'm sorry. I hate to do it, but I had to do that. Look, that's real disrespectful. I'm doing. I love you, Brother Smith, but I'm going to hold it. I got this right here. The brother talking over top of me. Nah, wait a minute. I'm letting them talk. The reason we didn't have homosexuality in Africa before the European is because the Europeans didn't come there and rape them. Once they came and raped people and forced homosexuality on our people, now you got this sexual psychosis going around in your community. And the only way to fix it is to take the people who are so sick that they're going to do the Europeans' bidding and prevent them from doing it. And what Brother Umar here is saying is no, don't actually do nothing about it. Just let it roam, let it continue, and see if you can help the victims. Well, how many victims are you going to have? This guy's going to make 360. Then the next guy's going to make 360. Then the next guy's going to make 360. So you just let them make millions of sexual abuse victims while you sit around and come up and pontificate on how you can psychoanalyze somebody to fix them. It won't work. He can't prove that it'll work. It has never worked. No one can show any proof anywhere in the history of the world where sexual abuse has been fixed without dealing directly with sexual abusers and taking them out of positions of power over people. We do not have a way to control these people and lock them up. The only solution for it is for us to make sure that they understand they can't rape in our community. Let me put the brothers back on. Put both the brothers back.
Well, okay, you made your point. You talked about how there's no evidence here, no evidence there. Okay, first of all, there is evidence that sexual offenders can be rehabilitated. I work in that area. You don't. So you're speaking on something you don't know of. Second of all, you have no proof that punishing crime prevents it. Third of all, you still ain't speak one time, not one time, on what you're going to do to prevent that pedophiliac urge from developing in our children. You said they're getting it from the European. I'm not going to argue that. Largely, that's correct, but it's not fully correct. And furthermore, as long as our children are exposed to European culture, what are you going to do to prevent them from developing the pedophiliac urge? Oh, you'll kill the baby, but you won't do a damn thing to the European. Like I said the first time, your strategy is totally reactionary and ineffective. What are you going to do to prevent the development of mental illness in a sick society?
Let me answer it. You asked me a question. Now, here's the proof in the pudding.
And stop muting the phone when you have something to say, bro.
Ask me a question, brother. Come on now.
He can do whatever he wants to do. You're not his daddy. Jesus, man. You had to mute the phone. If you learn how to give and exchange, let's keep going. I'm trying to keep it down to a minimum, but
I'm trying to.
I know. I just say don't mute the phone. That's all I said.
No, I'm saying just let me speak. I'm letting you speak.
Right.
You asking what I'm going to do. For the last 15 years of my life, predators in our midst. I've done that lecture maybe 7 times before I got it to where I thought it could help.
A lecture doesn't heal anything, Jeannie. So what? You did a lecture. What are you going to do to prevent it? What's the program? What's the process? Don't tell me about no.
Shut up and let him talk.
Damn lecture.
Brother, I'm sorry, Brother Samir. I don't want to mute Brother Samir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put the brother on there, but you see it. I'm letting him speak. He can't slow down. So I got to just cut him down so I can speak, and I'll put him back so he can speak. Here's the reality, brother. For the last 15 years of my life, I've put together lectures that delve into the psychology of our people. And the brother left the line because I muted him. Okay. I apologize for that, brothers and sisters. I didn't mean to put him off the line, but we got to have respect on the forum both ways. The reality of the situation, I've put together, to the best of my ability, information. I want y'all to understand, I have to sit down and pour through thousands of hours of studying these sick psychopathic crackers to understand why our people are sexually abused. Let me go even deeper. Bro, I really hate to do this, King Samir, but I got to speak to this. I want y'all to understand why this is hurting me. The single reason that I've dedicated my life to my race today to fight these crackers for you is because I had a young lady who I was friends with in Massachusetts. I was 15 years old. I love this woman. She's a beautiful woman, Jamaican sister. And one day she sat down with me and told me that when she was in Jamaica and around 12 or 13 years old, one of those guys down there, I think it was her uncle or her cousin, dragged her into the woods and raped her. And at that moment, I said, whoever's out here raping our children, I'm going to get rid of them. I thought there was 2 or 3 guys. I could go find these guys and stop it and make sure nobody ever did that again. From that point in time, when I heard that and became aware that our people were getting savagely, psychologically, sexually ravaged, every sister I started meeting in my life started telling me, brother, I've been sexually abused. I've been sexually abused. It started coming so much, I stopped wanting to even hear it, but I could not turn away from my sisters who were telling me this. So we started to do it. I was with an organization called PKV, and the brothers were saying, man, we got to stop the sexual abuse in the Black community. How do we stop it? Well, first we had to study it. This is back in 1990s. We started studying it. I didn't know that I was going to open up books and go through the history of Europeans and find out that this was what Europe did, and that sexual abuse, that the individuals with the power on this planet were sexual abusers, and they were intent on sexually ravaging everybody on this planet. I didn't know that. I didn't even want to know that. When I found it out, then what did we do? We had to teach our people. We had to start talking about what's happening in our community. And we doing lectures about this subject, going to our people saying, we got to stop the sexual abuse in our community. We doing forums, we doing all of this stuff. As we begin to study it, we started saying, wait a minute, this is leading to an explosion of homosexuality in our community. Wow, this is orchestrated. It's not an accident. We started finding out about sex farms. We started finding out and started linking it to what they were doing in the prison systems with our youth. And we said, whoa, we are under homosexual, pedophilic, worldwide assault. How do you take that and make it simple for a person that's sitting in their home and their uncle rapes them every evening? This is the most difficult work in the world. When Brother King Samir said what happened to him, I swear to God, man, I had to walk to the other side of the room. I want to kill somebody, man. This is my brother, man. You know how many black men have come to me and told me, thank you for the work you do in these videos, because it's made me realize there's nothing wrong with me. I was violated and I'm a man and I'm going to keep fighting. Thank you, Irritated Genie. Do you think I want to hear my brothers telling me that somebody sexually violating them? I don't want to hear that stuff, man.
Right.
But when I hear it, it don't make me run from it. It makes me say, I can't keep talking about this. Yes, we're going to keep educating our people.
That's how
these are real people who rape real children. Someone has to put their hands on these people.
Yeah.
Brother Umar is a beautiful brother. He wants to save everybody. We can't save everybody. We can't save everybody. I
You
love
want
you,
to
brother.
see who he
Because he
selects.
loves our people so much, he don't want to see one of them go. But God damn it, I don't love no pedophile. I want him to go. He has to go. I can't save my race if I got to go out here in the streets and fight, and there's some faggot in my house that's going to put his hands on my daughter. I can't even go out there and fight. We have to clean up. We got to do it. That's why I don't drink. That's why I don't smoke. That's why we don't do these things. Why do you think we try to clean ourselves up? Why do you think we have these airways? We got these airways so you can hear this message.
Yeah.
So we can try to do something. King Samir is doing it tonight. What I'm saying is we should have mutual respect. If Brother Umar wants to save the pedophiles, if he can stop them from doing that, he should be offered that opportunity. But what I'm saying is, y'all understand what I'm saying out there.
But they're not gonna do nothing. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do anything. It's just a way of keeping and staying stagnant. It's sometimes, even if it's for a period of time, to where, you know, make people and not let them know when it's going to end. The shock value of it will probably deter people, you know, from doing things to children. Start it, and don't tell people, well, maybe it's a 3-year clear out, and don't tell nobody when it's gonna stop. Let them be fearful. If something has to be done, something has to be done, and the law is not moving. And I feel like this would also put the accountability on others that are knowledgeable. You know your son, you know your husband, you know your uncle, whoever. If you care about them, you better get their ass, because if we get them, we're going to put them down. That's the way it needs to go. Umar feel that much about it, he can go catch them before we do. All right, let's keep going.
Y'all know what I'm saying. Somebody got to say there's another side of this. He's the healer, we the cleansers. You can fix yourself, good. Better go do it, because if you don't, we're going to fix this problem. We're not going to allow you to do this. Mm-hmm. And we got to have that. And I don't like the fact that someone will come on One Horizon and try to tell people who don't agree that we can't do that they don't have the right to say that. But he got the right to do that. And it's his job to heal our people. But I'm saying when it happens, I got to speak.
There's other ones. And just like with all sex offenses and offenders, it's difficult, very difficult to identify beforehand exactly who is going to do the offending, okay, because not all trajectories are going to be the same. Not only do you not know who exactly is going to do the offending, you don't even know who they're going to select for the offense itself. And so basically, after you kill them, they have already committed the crime. So you say you killing them to prevent that 360 from going through the same nonsense? Well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they done already got to the 360 before you got to them, because they started out as child sex offenders from the 3rd and 4th grade. You ain't solving no problem like that.
I gotta say, I respectfully disagree with that. The reality of it is,
go for men hurting women too and doing stuff to women.
There has been nothing that has definitively proven that a sex offender can be rehabilitated. There is nothing.
That is not true.
Wait a minute. I'm proving on a higher level. The European is the one whose culture, since time immemorial, has been a pedophilic culture. Nothing that has occurred in the history of this world has stopped them from being pedophiles. They raped our children in slavery. They passed it on to us. They made us rape our own children. They're raping our children in reformatories now. They've created a system where our children get raped. They go around the world and put their military on people, and they rape people in Africa. They're training African troops to rape little boys and little girls in the Abu Ghraib prison. We saw the pictures where they're raping men. The pedophilic instinct in the European, which is not some force that comes from nowhere, it comes from European culture, is the source of European culture. There is nothing that has shown that can be curbed. The instinct for Europeans to ravage the anuses and the souls of young boys is so deep that it permeates even through their religion through Catholicism, where they always raping little boys. This is part of what they are. And now that they have access to our people, homosexuals are adopting our children. It would be ridiculous for us to think they're not being raped. If you look in Haiti, what's going on in Haiti now is an abomination. They're systematically raping young boys in Haiti. So we not only facing internal situation of sexual abuse in our communities that has been a cycle that can be stopped when we take it very seriously enough that a person knows that if they get caught doing it, they are surely going to die. One thing I have learned with anything for Black people, there's one serious thing that is a learning tool for Black people, and it's called pain. I've had many situations where I've dealt with brothers. You try to talk to them, you try to do all these different things. One thing Black people understand is pain. And that's why we don't get up to fight this European. It's not because we don't realize that they're killing our people, that they're murdering our babies, that they're assassinating our communities, that they're keeping us off these jobs. And
it's another reason why we got a lot of people online just running their mouth. And they don't promote people to get strapped up and to get trained. These be the main ones to be on here talking. And you can't even talk to them because if it gets heated up to that point, you know they ain't going to do nothing. They're not going to do a damn thing. It's a waste of energy. They're not doing anything. And I'm not even talking about anything in a vigilante. I'm just like, they're not doing anything. They want to sit around and talk and see who can out talk who, and who can code switch the best, and who can use the most eloquent speech and words and all that, and nothing ever gets done. That's it. It's all talk. No movement. People scared. It got to the point now people don't even fight no more. They're scared to fight. You shouldn't be fighting, but you know what I'm saying. If it happened, it's not like pulling guns. Don't nobody want, like that guy said, not the face, not the face. They scared to get pinched. It's just scary. It's a scary time. Okay, let's keep going.
Treating us, you know why we don't fight them? Because we know that they will blow our goddamn brains out. They will burn our homes down and they will kill us. We are afraid because we know that if we strike, when they strike, they're going to strike serious, hard, and long. Yeah. And you know what we do because of that? It chills us out. We want to get up and stand up, and only the bravest of the brave will go out there and do anything. It works. So I'm saying that same philosophy can work in the Black community. Look, there's a lot of mistakes that can be made. But one mistake that if you make this mistake, you're going to be killed. Mm-hmm. If you put your hands on our children. In addition to that, see, this is the part that's not being talked about. Here at War on the Horizon, we have DVDs, Predators in Our Midst. We put out the information into the community so people can see it and try to prevent the continuance of the cycle, to understand where it came from, to understand how it permeates. So you are doing something to prevent it, but the reality of it is education and psychoanalysis is fine. Pedophiles are not going to stop raping children because somebody psychoanalyzes them. They're going to stop like they do today, when the penalty is stiff enough that they can't do it. And right now, the only thing that stops them is bullets in the back of their head or a permanent jail sentence.
Punishment has never stopped crime. Punishment has never stopped crime. It hasn't stopped it in America. It don't stop it in Africa. It don't stop it in the Middle East. If you're saying that taking life,
he thinks that that's like a complete end all be all. It needs to run its course. It needs to run its course, but there should be some kind of level of accountability for the community. I am not against it. And I think he is talking more on the lines of things that are actions that are against our own. This is the same man that set up there. I'm talking about Irritated Genie. This is the same man, Umar Johnson, sitting up there talking about, I ain't going to be able to psychologize them all on the corner. And then people can't understand why I think somebody got to his ass up in one of them PWIs because he has so much hidden, just hidden animosity towards street black people that are in the streets, like, you know, that are in crime and stuff. He don't have no patience for them, but he has patience and grace for a child pedophile. And that to me, that's strange. That's very strange. He get more worked up about how he's getting worked up about rap music. Like, bro, what happened to you? Somebody got a hold of you and they whooped that ass or something. I don't know, but he don't have the same energy for this. And I think I know why, but let's keep going.
For pedophiles to know that you're murdering other pedophiles is going to stop their behavior, that is absolutely ridiculous. No more than knowing you're going to go to jail for raping somebody stops rape from occurring. And the reason why it doesn't stop these types of behaviors from occurring is because they have unconscious psychological motivators that are related to a delinquent and deficient childhood and lack of emotional nurturing early on in their years. You are not going to stop psychological illness by punishing it. It's ridiculous. It is never going to occur.
It's
Get
not
to the
really.
children, raise them correctly, provide them with what they need, and you will see that the amount of this sickness will start to reduce itself when the children are properly being taken care of. But again, we want to get them at the end of the cycle and say, you've been messed up by this white society, and you've been messed up because we ain't built a damn institution for none of you, nor have we provided any type of program to help your children. We know that, but because you got messed up and polluted by the system, now we got to kill you, even though we're just as responsible as you are for what you did, because we knew if we didn't step in, chances of you becoming the way you are were going to significantly increase, but we still stood by the lines and done nothing. And because you have become another casualty in this psychosexual war, we're just going to kill you because we don't feel like doing what we need to do to prevent you from getting sick in the first place. It's reactionary. I'll never support that nonsense.
It's not nonsense, and I'll be honest, brother. I love you, but you don't understand warfare. Let's go back.
Well, I understand warfare. I just don't agree with you. And because I don't agree with you don't mean I don't understand warfare. I want to make that clear.
I'm going to say that. I let you speak. I'm saying you don't understand warfare. I'm not
saying you don't know what I understand. And the fact that I don't agree with you does not mean I don't understand.
He's so damn sassy and arty. Just let him make his point. Jesus.
Understand warfare.
It doesn't mean
You're
that.
drawing the conclusion that because I don't agree with you, I don't understand warfare.
You say I'm saying
I'm a deep study of political science.
Hold up, I let you speak.
I understand that, but you made a conclusion I needed to speak on. So if you're going to make something about me that you don't know, I'm going to interrupt you and speak on that.
I'm making a direct statement, like you said. What I'm saying is ridiculous. I'm not telling you can't say that. It's your airway.
No. But saying that what you said is ridiculous is coming from someone who's an expert.
This is why he muted him. And I was for it because he gonna keep on going because there's something wrong with him. He's gonna keep on going.
In that area.
If you
but I didn't say anything about what you knew or what you did not know.
It don't
you
matter.
Told me I don't understand warfare. We never had a conversation on warfare, so you can't make that determination, brother. That's what I'm telling you.
Now you giving it, then you gotta take it. Now let's go.
No, I'm gonna give it and take it, brother. I give it and take it. All day, I give it and take it. Let's be clear on that.
This is warfare. Mao Zedong said, "I know that the Europeans put you on heroin. I know it's not your fault. You got 3 months to get off heroin because we cannot have a country of heroin addicts."
And he blew that.
And guess what?
Out,
China is arguably today the superpower on planet Earth. You know why?
I am well aware with the accomplishments of Brother Mao.
Wait a minute, hold up. After that 3 months, you know what he did? He took the
I know exactly what he did.
He lined them up and he blew their goddamn brains out. And he said, listen, I hated to do it, but it had to happen. And guess what? After that, they moved forward and China is the world power in the world today. What do you have to say about
that? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I got to say about that. First of all, what you just spoke on. Okay, I speak on regularly, and who he exterminated was the traders, not necessarily those who suffer from chemical dependence. But the difference between you and Chairman Mao was that he had absolute control over the country, and you do not. So if you're going to give me that rationale and say, Brother Umar, we have control over our society, which we do not, and say that we're going to get rid of all sickness right now and start over, build it from the ground up, if you had control, then maybe I can listen to that. But you don't have control over your society like Chairman Mao does. The white man has control over your society. And until you get it, there's no way in hell I'm going to endorse any ridiculous strategy that says kill victims when we're responsible for the illness that they're suffering from because we ain't building the institutions that they need. So when you are in the position that he was in, we can reason on your strategy, brother. But until you are, we can't. It's not useful.
I'm saying it's a ridiculous statement because the reality is the only way to get control of your community is to say we're going to protect our baby. And you can't protect your baby trying to teach a pedophile. A pedophile is not a victim. A pedophile is a perpetrator. And there's only one way to deal with a perpetrator, and that to be serious and not use semantics. Semantics doesn't stop.
I'm not using semantics. Punishment does not cure crime. It ain't slowed not one type of crime down ever. That's a damn semantic, and that's a myth. There's no proof in that. Show me any proof that punishing crime reduces it, Genie. It does not. No criminology textbook, no sociology textbook, no nothing. Not even African sociologists and criminologists on the continent. They will show you that it does nothing to do away with crime because most crime is motivated by unmet needs, economic or psychological. So now, separate the pedophiles, Genie. Separate the pedophiles. Now we left with all the quote-unquote normal children. What are we doing for them to make sure they don't become pedophiles? Because I see you at the end of the cycle, killing people who get messed up. What are you doing for the ones who ain't sick right now? Don't you telling me you're going to kill people when you're doing nothing for the healthy babies?
No, you are doing something. You're protecting them from getting raped. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They can still develop that tendency to want to have sex with other children based on unmet needs. You ain't protecting them because you killed a pedophile.
They won't act on it. They won't act on it. That's the whole point of this. I don't know why he's not able to come full circle. Jesus.
Pedophilia is a force, Genie. Thousands. Killing a few ain't going to do nothing about it.
Listen.
I just told you that one of the triggers for the behavior is unmet needs in childhood.
If one person
so if you ain't supporting those parents and supporting those families,
if one
your knowledge of that whole psychological process that brings forth the pedophile is incomplete.
If one person can rape 300 people, you're saying if you catch them when they rape 50, don't stop them then. Let them rape another 200.
No. What I'm telling you is your whole approach to dealing with the problem is incomplete. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that nowhere in your strategy, which is totally reactionary, do you deal with preventing the pedophiliac urge from coming into place in the first place. From the beginning in the first place. And if you're going to sit here and tell me it's all because some white man is showing the children how to be gay, now on the sociological level, yes, but that 16-year-old girl we talked about, hell, she probably never even been alone with a white man in her life. That ain't why the hell she's doing it. She's doing it because she was traumatized. She's doing it because she was traumatized by her own family.
And where
what are we going to do to prevent the trauma that brings about pedophilia?
Where did it come from? Are you telling me that whites did not put pedophilia in the black community?
I'm telling you that homosexual behavior has its origin in European cultural behavior. But I'm also telling you that from a psychological standpoint, children who molest will molest even if they never came under the influence of any type of European example of the behavior. I know because I work with them. Many of them never been exposed to that.
I'll let Dr. Umar answer that. Are you still with us, Brother Umar?
Sure. So it is a vicious, perpetuating cycle We tend to find it intergenerationally. And one thing I do not support, as I've heard several of the callers did say, was that they favored extermination. That 23-year-old girl is a victim. And she's a victim for a lot of reasons and through a lot of different channels. And for the black community, any of us, to advocate that she be murdered.
I think this is on a loop. We're going to leave it here because it's over. It went into a loop and then it's starting over. I'm going to move it up a little bit because I hadn't listened to this that far in. Let me try here.
And secondly, you sending a message to everybody out there that, you know what? We are sick as a people. And we all got issues. Hey, I've done a lot of damage to our own community myself. I can't lie.
Okay, so that's completed. Now I want to go into somewhere else. Let me show you guys. 1 second. The reason why I brought this up. And this was loaded a couple of days ago. It's just very, very simple. Even if you don't agree, it was just like, you don't understand. It's just some concept he was not grasping. And that concept is that it was to deter, it is to deter people from acting on those impulses. And something has to be done because what is going on now is not working. It's not working at all. And there's no solution except for just let it be. So this one is going to explain a little bit more about what's going on. Or it's not going to explain what's going on, but it is some commentary about what we just talked about and how soft a lot of these are on this particular situation. And it is a safe haven for, these pedophiles. And even if just the mere tone of all of it, just to me gives a lot more safety than what I've heard being used, even in exposing Umar. So here's the thing where I need to say this because I don't know. I think it gets confused. So my interest with coming out, I am not looking for support and that's insane to think that. I'm not coming online to build a fan base. I never ask people to like, share, subscribe. If you do like it, great. But other than that, my interest is not to build a fan base or to collect validation or have people agree with me. I'm here to speak on what I know, watch and give commentary on what I see as far as where Umar is concerned. The hypocrisy in a lot of his lectures and a lot of other things is just his behavior. So yeah, I inform. I'll post up documents from time to time if I have them. I have the time. Answer questions. I've been given a lot of unnecessary energy, and I'm gonna pull back on that to people that want to come over and challenge. And it's not worth it because I'm exposing what needs to be examined. So support is irrelevant to me. The evidence will speak for itself. My ultimate goal is to be here until we get to court. I'm not interested in social media. That will never vindicate me. It is a place where I'm out and flying my flag, and that should be okay. That I'm completely against him opening that school, being in any school, but I'm not going to get what I need from social media, and I didn't come out here in order to do that. Let's be realistic. He's got, regardless if that's how many is following him or whatever, I knew what his page traffic and his supporters look like or followers are. I didn't come out here to switch people. No, I have no interest in that. But I think, and I need to say this, there are people that overvalue their opinion. So this is my space. This is where I give my opinion. You want to have your opinion, go in your space or go make you a space and react off of my opinion there. You can come over here as long as you're respectful. As far as, and I'll leave your comment up because I'm never trying to hide from anything that's brought. I have a little bit more transparency than most. But online, morality has become compromised. It's conditional. People will excuse behavior that would be condemned in someone else, like that they don't admire or they're not interested in following. So with that being said, simply because, and it could even be because the person, is following, there's no, it's kind of like this. If you have a friend that makes poor decisions and they make poor decisions and then they want to have an opinion on your behavior, you're not really going to value that friend's opinion of your behavior, right? So you need advice and they give horrible advice. You're really not going to go to that friend for advice. That's pretty much what we're dealing with over here. People value their opinion. Don't feel bad if I don't value your opinion as much as you do, because this is just me, giving. And this is about my story. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about as far as with my story. There's a lot of things I have not released. A lot of things I may never release. It's just because it's the internet. It's not, I don't feel like a lot of things will do any good. But that's where things got twisted up before, even though I said it. I don't really care about anybody's opinion. The only opinion that I care about is court. And I was hoping by this time, since on the Stanky Coochie video, he was like, I got an attorney. I'm like, cool, I got him lawyered up. Let's do this. And nothing. So it's going to take me having the time to go in and with rested and everything else to go in and handle this on my own. And that's no problem. But it's not going to come from the internet. I'm not looking for it to come from the internet. And the clip we're going to watch is the reason why. I just don't value, I don't think that people are operating with integrity, morals, character. It's just not going to happen. And that's fine. All I'm doing is informing. So that being said, let's move on to the next one. I just want people to be aware. I don't like people to be confused on what's going on. This is just where I'm landing my stuff. We watch or people that I work with watch my videos, whatever. We don't care about the comments. Everybody's pretty much on the same wavelength, and they've been, told don't leave any comments because of the lurks. We damn sure don't want them moving over into, because a lot of my friends, they use their YouTube to like post family vacations and stuff like that. I don't want that shit going over there. So this is where we at. Now the next one is, this was loaded probably day before yesterday, and I want y'all to listen to this. Okay, one moment. Push that button. No, that one over there.
Before I get into it, y'all want to go down the line real quick? And I know what you're going to say. What are you talking about, Langston? I mean, you know, the line of so-called leaders that we had in the black community that let us down. Y'all want to go through it? You know what I'm saying? Because Young Pharaoh ain't the only one. Straight up. So let's go through it real quick before we get into the video. In no particular order, you got Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Malachi York, also known as Fertia Toomre, also known as Amudubi Vakbata, also known as the man from Planet Risk. You got Rashid Jamal. You got Nature Boy, also known as Three God, also known as Alihi Hope Bishop. Brother Polite. And I think that's about it. And last but not least, Young Pharaoh. And it's crazy because in the beginning, when Young Pharaoh came out and made his presence known online, you know, I really was digging his message and everything. Even though all he was doing is, you know, just like copy and pasting, you know, what Bobby Hemmett was saying and Dr. Blair was saying, and also Dr. Malachi York. But I got it. I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was for the younger generation. You know, the young people, they don't know about no esoteric and no Anunnakis and astral projecting and dark matter and all of that stuff that he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? And they damn for sure didn't want to hear it from, you know, us old heads, because even back then I was, you know, I mean, basically, you would consider me as an old head. I was in my late 30s, early 40s. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? He was there for the next generation, you know what I'm saying? And he was there to school them. So I let it ride, I let it fly, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not going to say so-called doctrine or his teachings, I say his teachings were just copy and paste from other, you know what I'm saying, teachers that came before him. But I like the dude. And then as he got bigger and bigger and bigger, pause, you know, it was like, yeah, man, I'm starting to see, you know, the error in his ways. And on my old channel, I've done videos about Young Pharaoh. And I don't even want to get into it. You know, he's done a lot of stuff throughout the past. A lot, you know. And it's like, what do you expect nowadays? Like, when I seen him with press-on nails or Lee nails, and the nails painted leopard skin, I wasn't like shocked. I wasn't. I just looked at it like, yo, wow, that's the pot calling the kettle black. However they, you know, say it, as the saying goes. In other words, Young Pharaoh was talking about how Nature Boy, when Nature Boy was out and he was on some I'm a cat, and Nature Boy was wearing nails. Now all of a sudden, Young Pharaoh was wearing them. But back in the days, Young Pharaoh was chastising Nature Boy for wearing them. Straight up.
But was he chastising him because he was against it? And I think that's where people got it confused. He wasn't against it. He was jealous. He already had a bone to pick with him. And he stayed on his top because he was jealous of the attention. And he was nitpicking at what he was doing. But it wasn't because he didn't agree with it. It wasn't from a standpoint of, you know, morals. he was just against it because he didn't like him for what he did to him on Sunday. So that's completely different. People started following, or that traffic started going to Pharaoh when that documentary came out, and with the increase in his views, I think he just started wilding. He did what most of these people do once they get attention. He's high off of clout. And now, do I feel like he's on drugs? Not anything other than weed. Not nothing more than weed. You know, and that's just how I feel about it. Is it going to get worse? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because behaviors like that, the stuff that people are drawn to, they're not able to self-regulate. And I say that all the time, but it's certain content and certain audiences that watch that content that if it's obsessive in behavior, then they're not going to be able. One of the reasons I had problems over here, they can't self-regulate. As soon as that we watched all of that go down after the check instant, that was, and that's why I was like, yeah, this is about to go out of whack. Because I know that behavior, the personality type, you can't sit for hours and hours and hours and be that invested in something to where you just cast all common sense adulting to out the window and just start doing vile shit. It comes with it. Okay, let's keep going.
And I'm like, you know what? Hey, whatever this man is on, whether it's drugs or MK Ultra, whatever it is, that's another L for the black community.
Yeah.
I saw some of the video of Young Pharaoh and how he said, you know, he was channeling something, and now he's on his cat energy. Like, nah, man. Nah, just hang it up. You're confused. You don't know whether you want to be a boy or a girl. And that's real talk. And it's people that follow him and they're, you know, really upset. I read the comments in the comment section of the video that Young Pharaoh did with him showing his nails and shit. And people are like, yo, man, I'm shedding tears. You know, Young Pharaoh, man, he used to be this and that and blah, 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 blah. Yo, let me tell you something. This is real shit that I'm going to tell you. The reason why you're upset is because you saw the divineness in someone else and not in yourself. That's real shit. For all you people that love Poe like Dr. Umar Johnson and Dr. Malachi Z. York, if you are let down, Rashid Jamal and Nature Boy, if those people let you down, that means you had high hopes for those people.
Yeah. Which means, and this is why I said I care nothing about the internet. If you can see it in someone else, but you can't see it in them, then ain't no damn way you can tell me about me. I mean, it's just, you can't, because when you take it offline and you put it in better hands, then this shit is clear as day. So that tells me, and some people get psyched in the head thinking that they did something. They're actually wrong. No, you're not wrong. You just in a space where that is dealing with people that don't use very good judgment about people. And that's just what it is. Okay, let's keep going.
Straight up. That means you saw something more in them than in yourself. And you just can't accept the fact that you followed, and maybe at one point in time, maybe you no longer follow them now, but you followed nothing but regular fucked up in the head people. I can admit it. I used to be a member of the United Nubian Nation of Moors. I really believed at one point in time that Dr. Malachi York was a man from a planet that he called Risk. Oh, let me take it back. Let me say it like this. Let me get the doctrine right. He was from the 19th galaxy, Ilium, 8th planet, Risk. That had 3 sons, SUNs. If I'm not mistaken, the sons were called Utu, Apsu, and Shamush. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong because I'm kind of like, you know, it's been a long time since I've been part of that doctrine. Ain't that some shit? Dr. York created a doctrine so that we can break the spell of the melanin recessive beings. And it's crazy. What I had to do to get out of that cult was not only break the spell of the melanin recessive beings, or rather the spell of Leviathan, or the spell of Kingu, or the spell of sleep, or what they say in the United Nubian Nation of Moors. After I broke that spell, I had to break the spell of Dr. Malachi York himself, and the spell that he cast on me, as well as the rest of the members. Cult followers, that is. So you should be embarrassed. You should be upset with yourself if you think young Pharaoh let you down. Because whatever supreme being or supremeness that you saw in him, you should have saw it in yourself. See, this is an individual journey. We ain't got no more leaders anymore. Them leaders is gone. Dr. Umar's supposed to have been opened up a fucking school, what, about 15 years ago? Dr. Malachi York is in his 80s. Still talking about something. Yo, y'all need to get me free so I can come out here and in some of these ships, because I'm the only one that knows the tones in order to summon the ships. My man, you doing 135 years for touching children. Straight up. You still on that bullshit ass doctrine? You plagiarize every fucking body, including Zachariah Stinson. And we don't factually know that the story that Zachariah Stinson wrote about as far as dealing with the Anunnakis are correct. Because to my understanding, he didn't even know how to read cuneiform. And when you further do research, there are thousands upon thousands of tablets that they found in ancient Sumer that haven't been translated. In other words, I don't think most of these people got the story right when it comes to who these ancient Sumerians gave honor and respect to. Come on, man. All of our so-called leaders are either in jail or have went the other way, the elemental P way. Just think about it. Man, this is crazy. Do you know that we got an Epstein files in the conscious community? Straight up. Dr. Malachi York touched kids. And we don't know just how many he touched. Rashid Jamal is in jail for the same fucking thing. Polite is in jail for the same fucking thing. Like, it seems as though that they're channeling the same spirit. Dr. Malachi York and Nature Boy is in jail for raping a woman, but he's also been accused of touching little children as well. So to me, it seems as though that these so-called black leaders are channeling the same demonic spirit or force, because their crimes are basically the same. Straight up. Their lifestyles are basically the same. It's child pedophilia. Well, it's the same thing, whether you put the child in front of it. Pedophilia, homosexuality. So when I seen young Pharaoh with them press-on nails, I was like, oh yeah, he's walking into his black leadership role. That's a shame. Because the real leaders that came before these fools were masculine. They had to take, I truly believe they took out Khalid Muhammad. That was a man.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. You had Malcolm X. You had Marcus Garvey. Those were real men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah. No faking, no shaking, no posturing, none of that. It's just real.
Dr.
I'm ready for us to get back, and I feel like masculinity, and it's crazy because you look forward to certain people to get home, get out, and for things to get back to the way they were or how they could have been, and you don't know what that's going to look like. You don't know what it's going to look like, but I am very, very ready for Grandmaster Jay to come on up out. And even though it may not just be in, part of his release and his supervised release, if he can't be, and he really don't even need to, he doesn't need to be involved with anything, but that would be nice to have that back. Not because I look to these people as leaders, but I feel like they help keep your head, like us, our head together. Because this weird shit out here, and get people back serious, There's so much I want to say. I don't feel like people are serious out here, and if they're serious, or they might be serious, they're not really on code, and it's just difficult. You miss the old times, so you can just listen to people and get inspired or feel empowered instead of all that performative shit. So here we go.
Ben, Dr. Blair. These were real men.
Yeah.
That taught us.
It's too much weird shit going on.
Shit crazy, man. If it ain't about young Pharaoh, if it ain't about Rashid Jamal and Polite, Dr. Malachi York, Dr. Umar Johnson being black leaders, y'all rely on this other motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's just a complete fuck up. He a straight raccoon. And that is Charleston White.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm talking about. We don't have, they keep pushing these weirdos up to the front. The people that nobody would pay attention to if guys were all standing out talking and hanging out. You got the ones that nobody would pay attention to talking the loudest. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's all performative. It's all online. Charleston White is just like Umar, just a different side of the coin. He's all right. Let's just keep going.
Touch kids. He may not be in, he may not be a homo. He may not practice homosexuality or whatever, but he just a fuck up. This motherfucker just love going to jail and love down in his own race. Straight up. Black people, the leader is in you. And if you continue to follow people such as Young Pharaoh and others, they're gonna lead you into the same shithole that they led themselves into.
And I said that.
Just think about this. At the highlight or at the height of Young Pharaoh's career on social media, he pulled in thousands, hundreds and thousands of kids, young people. And then when he started going crazy and doing drugs and all the rest of that shit, a couple people fell off, but there's still some people that look at him. Just think about how many people he's influenced.
Mm-hmm.
How many young kids he's influenced. When, as of recent, he said, I channeled a spirit in, and now I'm on my cat energy.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker got nails, leopard painted nails. Now people could say, I've heard it all. You know what I'm saying? It's MK Ultra and and he ever since he went against the small hats and he's talking shit about the small hats, it's MK Ultra and they controlling him and blah blah blah. That bullshit. I think Young Pharaoh always had it in him to be a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like that, come on out of the closet. Real shit. It's safe for people like you in 2026. Come on out. That's all you got to do. Just say, hey, this is me. Go full blown. Because seriously, I'm not even lying. If you look at that video and the way he had his, I'm not saying that every man that wears a gold tee is feminine. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, just look at the way he had his hair pulled up and his gold tee and his whole presence and just sassy. I just saw a lot of sassiness.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you all may defend him and say, oh, he wasn't like that and yeah, whatever. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I always thought something wasn't right about him. No grown man. Let me sip on my tea, because I know for those that have looked at Young Pharaoh's videos, when I say it, you're going to be like, yo, man, you wanted something with that. Hold on, let me sip my tea real quick. I thought two things when I used to see Young Pharaoh do what he does all the time on all the videos dating back from the very beginning all the way up until now. I used to think two things. Either he was a flame on or he was a reptilian. And what made me think that he was either or both is because he always used to stick out his, he always sticks out his tongue.
Yeah.
And I was saying in my mind, ain't no grown man on this planet, like taking heed. My lips get dry or something like that. I stick out my tongue. I'm not going to even demonstrate to to you how this man sticks out his tongue. You're going to have to just go to any video, present and past, to see it for yourself. Because no grown man sticks out his tongue like that. Real shit. Straight up. The gig is up. It's over. The journey's within. There ain't no, I seen all of this bullshit. Like they got all, because see, everybody's getting into it now. So you know how it is. The powers that be, the corporations and companies, they got to make money off of it. You know what I mean? So now, there's a thing where you can buy Ascension. You can go online and follow these programs or whatever, and take the steps up in leading into Ascension. Now you don't have to go outside and put your feet to the ground in order to ground. Your feet to the ground and practice grounding, so you can get charged the fuck up. No, you don't have to do that. They got blankets for that shit now. They selling them online. They got shoes for that shit now. You don't even have to put your bare foot on the grass anymore, on the ground, on the sand. So they commodified so-called spirituality. Everything's for sale. The only way that you'll ever reach ascension is for you to ascend. It's an individual journey. And let me tell you something. When I tell you, and this is the truth, it has taken me years to understand this. There is no video out there. There is no one person out there. You can say Malachi Z. York and this person and that person. There is no one out there that can lead you into ascension except for yourself. You are the savior. You are the only one that's gonna save yourself. And if you don't think that that's true, and you continue to worship or follow and believe that you need someone to lead you the so-called right way or lead you into ascension, then if they lead you, as an example, because I don't believe in the Christianity shit, but if they lead you in the pits of hell, that's your fault. If they lead you into the pits of hell, because look at where your so-called leaders are at right now. Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado. Dr. Malachi Z. York, serving 135 years. Polite, serving 7 years. Nature Boy, serving a life sentence. Rashid Jamal, I think he's serving about 20 or something. And sooner than later, they're going to have a cell for Young Pharaoh as well as Dr. Umar Johnson. Because somewhere down the line, them niggas going to fuck up too, because they fuck ups. Other than that, my name is Lenae.
The Prince of Peach Cobbler, and I'm standing outside the Jesse Jackson, O.J. Simpson, Ike Turner School for Boys. Now, people said that I stole the money for the school, and I just want to give people a tour of the school. At my school, we have state-of-the-art obstacle course equipment, because at my school, we're going to teach military science. At my school, we have multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art binoculars, because we're going to teach oceanography. At my school, we have state-of-the-art automobiles, because we're going to teach driver's education. At my school, we have state-of-the-art computers, because we're going to teach website development. At my school, we have multi-million-dollar high-power telescopes, because we're going to teach astronomy. At my school, the Jesse Jackson, O.J. Simpson, Ike Turner School for Boys, we have some of the best lubricants from Kemet because we're going to teach sex education.